This is a re-edited version with human voiceover. Check pinned comment to see what parts are new. Yup, the entirety of the rest of the season is still from chapter 3 of the graphic novels. The episode titled Girls is a bit more vague than the others. What it could refer to is A. Nick exploring his interest in girls while figuring out his sexuality, or B. Tara and Darcy getting lots of focus in the episode. Some awkward fake posters for the movies because they don't have the license for the real ones. Also, for the love of God, do not watch Brokeback Mountain with your mom.
I've got it. Pirates of the Caribbean. It's a classic, what do you think?
Do you remember that summer when you were like 11 and we had to watch this every evening?
It wasn't every evening.
It definitely was, because I could quote it word for word by the end of it.
Don't stop.
Isn't it wild that Keira Knightley in that scene and Kit Connor in this scene were the same age? Both were 17. Also, both Keira Knightley and Orlando Bloom had to give their consent for this clip to be shown in Heartstopper, so they are aware and approve of being used for a character's sexual awakening scene. Alice actually did research on Twitter when choosing the perfect bi-awakening movie for Nick. I definitely prefer that in the show Nick thinks of bisexuality as an option for himself to how in the comic Charlie suggests to Nick that he could be bisexual. The way they did it in the show gives Nick more space to figure himself out on his own terms without anyone putting ideas in his head, and I think that works better. What I've noticed in a lot of people's reactions to the show is that while we know bisexuality is a thing in real life, most people just didn't expect to see it as an option in a TV show. We've been so accustomed to bisexuality just not being a thing on TV that people tend to be surprised when it's directly addressed on the show. This just goes to show how important the representation here truly is.
Does Kit Connor know how much Nick Nelson means to all of us? Having a character with such healthy bisexual representation and going through that state of thinking you're broken because you don't know what's going on. I'm gonna ugly cry again. Nick is so special to me.
I think
That's really sweet.
that is beautiful. I think Nick is extremely special to me as well. I think that he's an extremely special character. I think that there's not enough, bisexual representation in mainstream media or really any kind of media. I think that especially queer bisexual character, male bisexual characters is an extremely, underrepresented kind of character, and I feel like it's a real pleasure to be able to bring that to the screen.
I was about 14 when I realised I was bisexual. I had a best friend at the time and we were completely inseparable. And one day we shared a kiss and I didn't feel weird about it. I didn't feel like it was an odd thing to do. In fact, it felt incredibly right.
Courtney J is a real YouTuber, and he has made videos about and reacting to his appearance in the show. He was originally given a script, but they ended up using his own authentic story for the clips. It's interesting how his real story mirrors Nick's so closely. He has videos talking about the process, and I won't use long clips of them here because I want to encourage you to go to his channel and see more about it and support him directly. Fun fact, the vlogs are not dubbed over in any of the dubbed versions I watched, even though it was made for the show.
I can't believe I get to be what I never got to have.
Al? Are you looking at Timothy Chalamet's Instagram again?
No? I think I have a crush on Tal.
You think?
Watch out, dick nozzle! Watch out, dick nozzle!
If you want my attention that badly, why don't you just throw something at me again? Like your last remaining brain cell?
Harry's friends are so quick to laugh at him. It just shows that they don't really like him that much.
I think you hurt his feelings.
Good.
This scene is a bit suspicious. It seems like it was moved from episode 5 to episode 6. Here Charlie seems to encourage Tao mouthing off to Harry, and then realize how it's affecting Nick. Last episode Charlie already told Tao not to do this, but now suddenly doesn't mind again before seeing Nick's face. Also, here we see Imogen looking at her phone seemingly upset as if crying about her dog again. I noticed this myself, and others have pointed out similarities in the positioning of other actors etc. to the "My dog died" scene.
You realise this is the room?
The room?
A special room. Got locked in and had our first kiss.
There's a mini comic about this in the back of volume 2.
Guess there's still one person that doesn't know we're a couple. Like, literally the only person in a 50-mile radius, I swear to God. Yes, I swear to God.
How did Kizzy not get a concussion? The sound of their head hitting the guitar was loud. Well, I actually don't know if it was my head or not. I think it might have been the trumpet. Yeah, it might have been the trumpet. I really can't remember. I did actually do that multiple times in that scene. There's only one in the bloopers reel that I did hit that guitar loads of times in that scene because it was just so inconveniently placed.
Like, I never would have guessed that you were gay, but it's so cool and brave of you.
I've seen different reactions to this. While most people get that that comment is not what Tara wants to hear, I've also seen some people interpret that as a nice supportive moment. Yes, this random girl means well, but the problem is that A, you don't need to tell people you wouldn't have guessed their sexual orientation, and B, just like with what Ben said, it's not necessarily brave to be gay. Coming out is a brave thing to do in itself, but putting up with all the negativity, as Ben put it, is just something you have to deal with in this position, and that isn't glamorous or cool. Also, Tara did not ask for this person's opinion. It doesn't even seem like they're friends. All of this attention is too overwhelming for her, even if it's seemingly positive like this. Even in this statement, there are microaggressions that people saying this stuff don't necessarily realize they are communicating.
She's so gross.
Lesbians are so disgusting.
What is their problem? I swear people weren't like this before we came out.
What kind of backstory did you create for Tara?
So for me, I think I initially went with the feeling that Tara's got her mum and dad, they live together, which is what you don't see a lot when people are like depicting Black households. So it was important to me that she came from a stable home and that her parents are really supportive. So you've got that off the get-go. And so she is comfortable in her sexuality because she's got that rooting from being so close to her mum and dad. I think I also said she's got an older brother. Yeah, so they're all really close and they get on really well, which helped me have the push-pull effect when she's at school and she's not getting that same response and she's getting more of the gossip. That's why she's struggling so much. That it was good for a through line for me to think she's not experienced it because at home it's so accepted and she's comfortable. Yeah, that's one of the main background things that helped shape Tara.
Want me to throw cheese at them? Got leftover cheese from lunch. Why do you have leftover cheese? Always pays to be prepared with anti-homophobia cheese.
Now, which was your favorite line or quote of Darcy's in season 1 and why?
Well, I think the classic one is the anti-homophobia cheese. I think that's a great line. And I was, that day was so much fun as well. But I remember Eros sitting down being like, milk the shot, Kizzy. Just stay there for a while. Anti-homophobia cheese, definitely.
I had a question.
Yeah?
How did you realise you were gay?
I guess I've always been sort of aware of it. I didn't understand it at the time, but it's always been boys.
In the comic, they had this discussion on the day Nick came to Charlie's house in the rain.
I don't know what I am. I'm sorry for being all confused.
I thought I was the one who said sorry too much.
Oi. There are kind of two sides of it. It's very much trying to tell sort of queer teens that it's absolutely, you should absolutely aim to sort of express yourself completely and be authentically yourself. But at the same time, it's not also pressuring you to put a label on yourself immediately and immediately work out. It's fine to not know, I think. And it's sort of, we try and show that there are two sides of it and that it's okay to sort of be unsure and not have to put a label on it. And yeah.
Do you want to kiss? Would that help?
Wow.
What show are those people who think Charlie is just this timid, shy little guy watching?
It's a good suggestion.
It's interesting to note that Nick and Charlie become a pretty PDA couple later, so Nick definitely would have wanted to kiss here. What's stopping him is not that he's ashamed of Charlie, as he clarifies in the comics after coming to Charlie's house in the rain, but that he's so unsure about himself. It's also because we've seen this moment that the public date in episode 8 feels like such a triumph later.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry.
Charlie's always patient and understanding with Nick.
Hi, Nick.
Tara! Charlie tried to teach me the drums once, and I am absolutely crap.
Well, that's partly because you were not paying any attention. Also, I don't think that counted as teaching.
You and Charlie getting along well then?
I can't unsee that they accidentally used a clip of Tara walking away here, and now neither can you.
Yeah, we're sort of going out.
Are you? It's funny how things stand out between us.
What do you mean?
Yeah, Nick, what could she possibly mean?
I mean, when we were 13, I thought we were going to be boyfriend and girlfriend forever.
I do love when we have the flashback though and see mini Tara and mini Kit. That.
Anytime you bring like younger actors on screen, you're like, oh, that's mini me. That's so cute.
Yeah, the whole day I was obsessed. I was going, oh my gosh, look. But the joke is, my mini me and myself, there was not much difference in our height. Like, she was maybe an inch shorter than me.
So definitely around a certain age, Tara did not grow anymore.
Yeah. It was at 13 she stopped.
Kit Connor quote from Vangsect magazine. I find that I spent a lot of my childhood playing a younger version of another character, which is amazing. I did that for Rocketman and it was really cool, but that's something I've been keen to get away from. Especially now that I'm turning into somewhat of an adult. I'm trying to establish myself differently. Those kinds of roles are great, but Heartstopper was a real pinch me moment. There's a scene where there's a younger version of me and meeting him was so great. It was a really crazy moment because I'm so used to playing the younger version of other actors and it was cool to have the roles reversed.
Yep, so did I. Are you and Darcy out to your friends then?
Some people were surprised. A couple of people already knew. Darcy! Triumphant laugh.
Okay, everyone, from the top.
Oh my god, we found another one! Not having lunch with your boyfriend today?
No, I'm waiting for your mum, actually.
And Harry's friends blatantly laughing at him getting wrecked again.
There's some really brilliant interactions between Harry and Tao, who's played by Will Gow, where Harry never seems to get the upper hand. Tao's always got the last word to say. Were you ever tempted to get a sly comment in?
I mean, as Harry Green, I couldn't really. You know, he's always one step ahead. He's the clever one. I'm just trying to bring the banter in. But yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously again separating the character from the person, but. Yeah, the ego, Harry Green's ego definitely got hurt a couple of times.
I'm not really out yet or anything.
Do you want to be?
I don't know.
Us and Charlie, tomorrow night, before the concert, milkshakes.
I like milkshakes.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard.
Good. Being out is hard. A lot of people will see you in a different way, and it is a lot to deal with.
Are you, like, definitely gay? Or do you think you're bi? Or... When we were 13, I think I did like you. I mean, I think I have liked girls before, so...
I'm definitely gay. Kissing you was actually one of the things that made me realise I don't like kissing guys.
Okay. There was a scene that I have with Nick, Tara and Darcy. So Karina, who plays Tara, essentially says kissing you was how I found out that I was gay, basically. I think I reacted to that. I think I added like an ad-lib or something. I said ouch or something like that. And yeah, everyone started laughing.
You can't come in here. Nick's coming round.
Oh, I didn't realise you were in a committed relationship.
I don't know what this is, but it looks kinda sus. Please tell me if you know what this is. Quote from Turum article, The Hidden Messages in Heartstopper Bedrooms by Lydia Wang. Actually, the posters and everything grow in that room. As he grows as a character and the relationship with Nick grows, there's more posters, there's more images, there's more stickers, production designer Tim Dickel says. Overall, Charlie's walls are very much a metaphor or cipher for his growth as a character.
Even if we were together.
So what
Yeah.
were you drinking? Was it water? Was it juice? Was it cold tea?
So there was one day where it was apple juice for sure. Fans can try and work out in which scene, because also, I mean, the cups were coloured, so it's sometimes hard to tell what is in which cup. But there was definitely some apple juice knocking around, and also some lemonade. I won't name a brand, but there was some lemonade at one point. The funniest thing was, in between takes, they'd pre-take, they'd fill it up to a certain line and draw a little invisible line with like invisible marker to make sure it was in the right place. Then after my minute sip to set up for the next take, someone would come in and refill my drink right up to the line, just for continuity. So real attention to detail.
Also the challenge of combining the sets and locations, like we had the set of Charlie's bedroom and then the house where it was in, and I was trying to get some elements in light that could make it seem like it's more one place. And I got inspired by this stained glass windows in the location, and then try to do that replication of that on his bedroom door, so you can see some colors there and kind of little things like that I'll try to make, which is kind of partly magical, partly real. I feel like magical realism can apply to that.
Nick wearing his fave blue hoodie again.
What? You're staring.
In the comic, it was Nick who was doing the staring. Either version is cute in its own right, but I'm sad we never hear Nick calling Charlie cute in the whole season.
No, I was talking to Tara at the rehearsal today. I told her we're together.
Oh my god, that's amazing. Wait, are you sure you wanted to?
Yeah.
You didn't just force yourself because I'm out or anything?
No, I wanted to tell them.
A bit confusing there, because he said he told Tara and then says he wanted to tell them without specifying he also told Darcy.
How did you guys manage to get comfortable with each other for more emotional scenes?
I mean, I think it helps that we get on very well. You know, I think it helps that we're very comfortable with each other.
If we didn't.
Yeah, exactly. If we hated each other, that might be a bit difficult. But yeah, we get on very well, and we do kind of banter with each other all the time. And well, a lot of the time, if there is a very kind of intense scene, a very intimate scene or something like that, we'll often sort of diffuse the tension quite quickly after by, you know, making a joke, or, you know, for example, if we had a kissing scene, I would quite often say that Joe has stinky breath, and I think that's a great way to...
He had this joke every day, like everyone said that my breath always smelled of coffee.
But
it was
Joe loves coffee, and there was one time where we had to do a practice kiss for a scene, and Joe had just had like a full cup of coffee, and I was just like, this is
and
not
he
nice.
kept telling everyone that the whole time.
Yeah, because I felt that, you know, I felt that I was wronged. I felt that I was a victim in that situation. So, yeah.
Fine.
In the comic, Tori walks in on them here and finds out about them that way.
And Tara and Darcy want us to go and get milkshakes with them before it starts.
I've never been on a date.
Me neither.
That's interesting considering how popular he is.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay.
No goodbye kisses for Netflix. Nick walks to the right when previously he went to the left when he went home. Quote from set decorator Maxwell Fine. We knew we wanted a top shot of Darcy's room and that they were super expressive as a person. We set about finding all sorts of things to have on their bedroom floor that they could lay amongst, from toys to clothes through to random bits of bedding from their childhood, and even some fun fairy lights and streamers to throw into the mix. Quote from set decorator Maxwell Fine. Tara's bedroom was one of my favorites. The script said she was surrounded by stuffed toys, so we went to town and covered her entire bed in 40 teddy bears. First time Nick doesn't mind being called gay.
Oh.
Here's my absolute favorite clip from the audio description for the visually impaired.
Oh.
Tao turns around and twerks towards her.
There was more twerking outside the milkshake cafe, and I wanted like that whole line and rope thing with Tao and Elle. That was so cute. That must have been a little funner to film.
That was really fun, but that was in public. So you need to realize that we were in a public park then, and there was like casually people just walking like by with their dogs and just seeing me like twerking in front of like cameras. It's just so surreal. But that little kind of the fish thing that we kind of just did, we started doing that, and it was just we kind of kept it going. And Yaz was like, "Yeah, it's really fun. Let's keep that in." And the director was like, "Yeah, that's good. Do that. It's quite fun." So that was fun, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you enjoyed the
and I love to hear that improvisation, that line and rope thing.
Since when were you coming to this?
I think we were supposed to have a different set, and it was supposed to be like an actual cafe, but I think outside is quite cute.
There are certain things like, for example, there's like the kind of milkshake. There's a triple date where they all go for a milkshake, and there are certain elements that are almost like a kind of old-fashioned Hollywood romance kind of film.
I was friends with Charlie first, and then Tal came along as a package deal.
Rude! Rude! What was my line? Red! I think I just kind of went for a Scottish accent on that line. Red. You're lucky to have me.
This promo photoshoot references the promo image used for Friends.
Oh my god, no, that is a crime.
You know what's a worse crime than bubblegum flavor? The Finnish dub for this show. I'm Finnish and I couldn't watch it at all. Swedish was a million times better. Good lord, Finland does not know how to do decent dubs. It was even translated super badly. I hope nobody genuinely watched that version.
Oikeesti, mulla on ihan kauhea homokriisi päällä.
Takki päällä. Ei täällä oo kylmä.
Nyt on helmikuu.
Nolo.
I am deeply ashamed to live in this country. Also now, every time I watch Joe drink these milkshakes, I think of...
Yes, but I'm lactose intolerant, so it's not good.
I hope he was okay.
Wow. See? I make good choices. We should go on a date, just us.
Nick takes 2 seconds to answer and Charlie goes to overthinking panic mode.
I mean, if you want to. It's alright if you don't want to. Actually, no, sorry, that was stupid. We should.
I overthink everything. Like everything. Every action I ever do in any situation ever.
That's true.
Charlie does that too. So.
Yeah.
Tao, can you come help us carry the glasses?
Yeah.
Just because you two came out doesn't mean I also want to share all my secrets. I don't want anything else to change.
Yeah, sharing stuff like that changes everything. Not always for the better.
What was she feeling throughout the episode, especially for scenes where she heard Tara talk to Nick and Al about how change or sharing things changes things not always for the good and coming out as difficult? Like, what was going through Darcy's mind?
I think at some point she was a bit hurt by Tara's unwillingness to come out. I think it's the same with Nick and Charlie. That it does hurt, even when you know it's not about you. Even when you know Tara's not ashamed of you. Tara's ashamed of, like, or nervous about the fact that she's a lesbian. And it does hurt, and I think it did hurt Darcy a little. But I think Darcy's main thing is she just wants to be supportive because she knows what it's like to come out. I mean, it's not like it's completely different to her, although it is in some ways. I think the main thing that Darcy wants is to be there for Tara because she knows what it feels like and to sort of look out for her.
Not interrupting anything, am I?
What? No, we were just chatting.
Okay then.
I mean, you're the one who called him over. Maybe you don't need to be quite this awkward.
Thanks.
Tao becomes separated from the group here and you can see on his face he feels left out.
triple date?
Yeah, you and Tao, Tara and Darcy, and...
You and Charlie. Charlie! I'm so happy for you. I mean, I'm happy for you too, but you didn't have to witness all the months of intense pining.
Just so you know, the concert's starting in 15 minutes.
How do you have such bad time management that you just ordered more?
Oh. Was it actually bubblegum flavour milkshake?
Yeah, it was. But the milkshakes, the first taste was fine and nice, but then after the first take, they refilled them with water and not milk. So they just got increasingly grimmer and grimmer and grimmer. And so like I think there's a blooper in the blooper reel where we're all like, they say cut and we all just go and like spit it out and on the grass next to it.
Oh.
That's hilarious. Oh, those things were disgusting.
Oh no, these were actually really hot. They look delicious though.
Wow, that's a look right there.
I remember in the bloopers you can see me getting cream all over my nose because I made that decision in one take, and then for continuity I had to keep doing it, so I was just sort of covered in cream the whole time, which the makeup artist didn't really like. But oh, well, that day was so nice. That was one of the days. I mean, I'm always really sleepy and I'm always really tired on set, but that was one of the days that I had a lot of energy.
Oh, I really did love. So it comes into the story when we're walking to go to the orchestra performance. That day, it was really fun. It was the only thing I had to film that whole day. That beautiful moment between Kizzy and I. And then we walk off. And then, do you know what we did when we walked off? We went and got an ice cream. It was great. The sun was shining. There were swans. That was a really fun day for all of us. And yeah, I think it was like one of the days, like after a couple of weeks when I hadn't seen everyone. So to see like Kit, Joe, Will, Yaz again, that was nice.
I really love you.
Oh, I love you too.
Aww. Tara, Darcy, hurry up, you're late. Sit down, chop chop. Don't look at her, you'll catch the lesbian disease.
So, lots of debate over whether this type of shit talking is realistic. My verdict is these are teenagers. Teenagers say incredibly stupid stuff. Fairly often, in fact. I don't see why you wouldn't believe that people say this shit, especially kids.
I'm glad you came.
I like being with you.
Now, where have I heard that before?
Hypothetically though, dream guy.
I don't know. Just someone I can have a laugh with.
It looks like I'm wearing blue gloves.
You can make it the new school fashion.
I'll pretend it's a tattoo.
And he's nice and kind. And likes being with me.
I like being with you.
I can make you set up for someone tall. If people guess we were together, if they start saying stuff about you, then... Well, I really don't want you to have to deal with that.
You guys are being pretty obvious. How is Tar watching this go down in the audience and not seeing the hearts practically flying around you?
I've been researching about being bisexual.
They are kind of talking in separate directions here. Charlie's talking about how he's worried Nick will be outed, so they should be more discreet. Nick is saying he's working on them not having to hide for much longer because he's getting closer to coming out.
I think that might be me, but I'm not sure.
I just want some peace and quiet. The door!
Oh no.
No signal.
can't believe this is the second time we've been locked inside our makeout room.
No, we filmed the second half of this scene on our first day.
No, it was not.
No,
You're lying. You're making up a lie.
It's all a blur. It was so long ago. On our first day, we filmed part of the orchestra scene. Oh, it was great.
We met in rehearsals.
Yeah. No, we met.
No, we
in
met on the
chemistry
chemistry
read.
read. We read this scene here
Yeah.
for the first time in our chemistry read, didn't we?
Yeah.
So
And
that
then
was
do
our
you
first
remember
scene
when
together.
We was like holding our cores to not lie on the wall, sit on the wall. It was really awkward. I remember sitting like really far back, being like, "Oh, don't fall."
Sort of leaning on each other.
Yeah, like, ah. So yeah, it was great.
Talk to me.
Everything's changed. So I auditioned for Tara straight away, and I got sent her beautiful speech that she says in episode 6. And just from an actor's perspective, having such a complex, like sweet but struggling character come like into your lap, like it's a beautiful opportunity. And I was like honored, and I really connected with that monologue. I thought it'd be fun and a challenge to try and like get the best performance, because it's so honest. So that's one thing that initially when I read her speech, I was like, yeah, I really want to do this well. I hope I get this job.
Do you regret it?
And then the hardest thing to scene was the music room scene where Karina cries. Because I felt really bad for her. Karina's so talented and so natural. And I felt like I was struggling to match her energy, because, I mean, our RSR director kept telling her, like, tone it down, and Kizzy tone it up, if that makes sense. And I found it really, really difficult to sort of, be as full of energy as Karina was in that scene. And I feel like I was just sort of not on it that day, but I tried really hard.
No, I just wasn't prepared for things to change. I didn't think so many people would suddenly think I'm a completely different person.
Which was the most challenging scene for you, and why?
I think I would say music room, episode 6 scene, because firstly, we shot that on our first day on set. So I was extremely nervous.
You were thrown right in.
Right in. Hadn't met anyone yet. Well, any of the rest of the crew yet. So I was like, oh my gosh, so much pressure. I'm under pressure. I'm under pressure. And as an actor, it's like, this is your character's moment. Like, you want to deliver the best thing of your life. But I'm dealing with my nerves, like first day nerves. So I'd say that was a challenge, but you channel it and you use it. And I think that's also why it made the scene so like as good as it was, because there were real like emotions behind everything. It was, yeah. It's different for me. You came out years ago.
Oh God, Karina did such a good job in that scene. I'm gonna have to say that really, really quick. Karina did such a spectacular job. She cries all the time. I think she's like got something wrong with her eyes or something, but she cries all the time. And she started crying. And the thing about a TV set is you do it so many times you sort of lose the feeling. But she started crying, and I was right there, and I was so present, and I felt really, really bad for Karina. I just sort of wanted to give her a hug, because she's just incredible. That scene for their relationship, I feel like I'm glad Tara's able to talk about it, and I'm glad that Darcy listens. I think it brings out the best for each other in them. That scene, they confide in each other, they comfort each other. They just have such a sweet relationship.
You're so confident about your sexuality, and I still feel like I know nothing.
I don't know anything either. I don't know anything about anything.
Intimacy, right?
Yeah.
I think it was getting used to being intimate on camera. And we have a closed set, so there's not loads and loads of people there, but it's still, I don't think it ever stops being weird, especially when you're mates. I think it was easier when we weren't friends. Like, it's just some girl.
The first time it's like, okay,
it's just some pretty girl, I'm fine. Now we're friends, I'm like...
It was, and I think it was also hard because it's such a poignant moment in their story. So you want to do it right. As an actor, I'm always like, I need it to be perfect. The comics are already perfect, so this can't be not perfect. But yeah, so it's just getting rid of those thoughts and being like in the moment was hard, but I hope we did it.
Their animations are lightning bolts and little music notes.
Well, let's talk about working with an intimacy coordinator. You had David Thackeray on set. What was your experience working with David, and how are they able to guide and support you?
Well, I can't really imagine a set without an intimacy coordinator now, because I mean, we had these like consent exercises, like, can I touch your shoulder? Yes. Can I touch your hand? Can I kiss you? That's how me and Karina practiced. We had a bunch of like consent stuff. And David was always like, if you feel uncomfortable, let me know. We don't have to do it. And that, I can't imagine like a set without that. And we'd go through the beats of the kiss in the music room. David was like, so you're going for a kiss, you're hesitant, and then you sort of move into it. And then you feel free, and the beats of the kiss was really, really good, just so we knew exactly what we were doing, so there wasn't like a random touch that we weren't expecting. Really, 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 really good experience with David. Love it.
Seem gay enough to me.
Shut up. Did they have to take Charlie away from the drums for this too?
Homophobia! Women here, we got locked in!
Hey, you guys are supposed to be on stage like right now.
Oh my god, put a mask on.
Oh, this?
Hey,
Yeah.
you guys are supposed to be on stage.
I was so unaware. I was like...
We had to run out of a room, out of the orchestra room. And every time we ran out, Karina would do like a cartwheel or a flip or something off camera, just for fun.
Also, how is Tao not seeing Charlie and Nick holding hands?
You know I can't run, it's not my fault.
Will Tao learn how to properly run? That is the question.
That is the question. I think no, he won't. But we can try and teach him. Yeah, he really can't run. No, yeah.
Was it hard? Is it hard to like act like you don't know what you're doing when you're running?
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of made it as ridiculous as I could. I just kind of went for it. And I remember, just making the run as silly as I could. And I kind of flicked my legs out every time I ran. And my aim was to try and make the crew laugh. And if the crew laughs, it means you're doing well, because that means they're finding it funny. And it was really, really good to hear a bit of a laugh after the run.
Thanks, boy. Kiss one time.
No problem. Get her like kiss one time.
So Tara just quickly jams the clarinet together and is ready to play. Okay.
You gonna be okay?
Yeah, I'll be okay. You?
Yeah.
There's a sweet moment. My personal favorite moment was at the concert when Nick was holding Tara's clarinet case and they ask each other if they're going to be okay. Do you think your favorite interaction between the two of them?
Do you know what? I watched it back, and I watched it back today actually, and it's such a cute moment. Yeah, that is one of my favorite moments. But then also when I'm thinking about like actually filming, every time we were all together on set doing a scene, it felt like that was the moment.
Imagine having to do VFX for a scene like this because of COVID. And that's it for episode 6. See you next time. Thanks for the lovely support. I'm so happy to see these videos are bringing joy to so many of you.